Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to the Ahmadiyya Fact Check blog. Another episode. I don't remember the episodes, but today I got something for you. Today I got some interesting stuff, some political stuff, puppet governments, Ahmadi's lying, Asif Basit lying. Look, this guy gets paid to lie, G. He's getting paid to lie, just like his dad. His dad, Asif Basit's dad, also was an employee of the Ahmadiyya movement. Let's not forget. Okay, so he comes from a family of people who were defending the Mirza family and getting money out of it, a livelihood. He couldn't work a job anywhere. Huram the same way. Huram the same way. So let's jump right into it. Why don't we? What did we have happen here? We basically had Asif Basit. Look, here's the stream. You see that? So he tries to do a stream saying, "Oh, it's the first mosque in London." What? What is so? We're about to do a surgical operation on this whole stream. All right. So check this out. Check this out. I'm just gonna jump right into it because I'm trying to do this quick. So I made notes. It took me forever to make these notes, to properly prep, but it's all prepped up and everything. All right. So here's my first comment. Let me see if I can pull it up. There it is. So, okay. They start off with a news report from the Chronicle, 1926, and they say the adhan was being given from the new London Temple. It's a temple, guys. It's not no, it's a temple. A Baghdad, place of worship, whatever you want to call it, yoga center, whatever you want to call it. It's not a mosque. Okay. Now, can they give azan in 2024 is the question. I've never seen a video of the azan from that temple, and there's noise laws in that area. We don't know. This is a question, so I found that interesting. Here, let me show you guys the so here's sort of what they showed, and you can barely read it, but from a minaret, there wasn't even a minaret, if I remember correctly, and there ain't no adhan coming from the minaret, so I didn't really follow that. But anyways, that's how they started off. Let's keep moving here. All right. What was second? So he's talking about Islam in London, or the in and around London, in the UK, in that era. But look, why didn't he talk about the WO King Mosque? He just totally didn't mention it. It was like the second mosque ever built in Britain. The first one was by Quillam, and it was torn down and everything. And I'll get to that. I'll get to that. The second one, and then why not Khawaja Kamaluddin? Why didn't Asif Basit be a man and tell the truth? Why didn't he say, look, it wasn't just us that came, it was also the Lahori Ahmadis. In fact, in Britain, before World War II, before 1947, the only two Islamic centers in Britain were Lahori Ahmadi and Qadiani Ahmadi. Why? He doesn't answer this. He doesn't even tell this. There's no other pseudo mosque. Maybe people are praying at home, that they found someone's house that they're praying in. But why are the British promoting Ahmadiyya as representatives of Islam? They gave them two temples. The WO King, which is 30 miles southwest of London, and there's a temple in London. These are the two versions of Islam the British government is promoting. Okay, but Asif doesn't explain it. Like, why would he? Why would he tell the truth? He's just not here to tell the truth. He's putting a spin on everything. Spin doctors. So he doesn't mention Khawaja Kamaluddin. He doesn't mention the WO King. I think he mentioned the WO King of like a few times, but he doesn't mention the significance of it. He doesn't mention who's managing it. He doesn't mention Maulvi Sadruddin, who was there. He doesn't mention any of that, right? So the guy is a straight up liar. And what's the point? You're lying about religion, bro. There's no need to. There's no need to. So okay, let's move to my next point. And it kind of got yeah, it's a Gani Temple. And where'd the money come from? See, this is where they're lying. They're saying, oh, women gave their jewelry. What women gave their jewelry? There's no records of any of this. There's no way to track that. We don't know. That's just what you're telling us. What probably happened was the British government paid for it. They gave Ahmadiyya the money. You see? So these are the lies, the level of the lies and the level of deception. Is they're not, instead of admitting that the British allowed them, remember, the British government allowed the Qadiani Ahmadis to build a temple that might look like a mosque in London. They didn't allow anyone else, only them. Why? Why did they allow them to even buy that property? Do I have a photo of that? Is that it? No, no. Oh, yeah. So look, why did the British government allow Qadianis to buy this property? It was a house. Do you see what I'm saying here? So before you open a temple, you got to get approval to buy a property to turn it into a temple. That ain't that easy. That's not very easy. But the lapdog of the British, it's going to get approval. The British government wants this version, this Kufri religion to replace Islam, is what it is. That's what they want. It didn't work. The project has failed. It's totally failed. Muslims rejected it because of the extremism in it. Jesus in India, Al-Islam, nope, we ain't doing it. We're not doing it. On just one thing, we don't need to see everything else. You claim that Jesus Al-Islam died in Kashmir. I don't need to, we don't need to hear anything else, right? It's game over. It's game over. So okay. What else is part of oh yeah, yep. That's exactly what I said. Okay, so let's move to the next point. Okay, so then they talk about the London Mosque Fund of 1910. Okay. Where'd it go? Okay, so check this out. He brings up the London Mosque Fund of 1910. It was fraudulent. Aga Khan is involved. We don't mess with Aga Khan, G. I don't have nothing to do with Jinnah or Aga Khan or anyone who's like that. I don't know anyone like that. I don't deal with anyone like that. I've never even met anyone like that. So we're not doing it, bro. And the Rothschild family, their trustee, Sayyid Amir Ali, he's a snitch. He's an oligarch. All the oligarch guys are snitches. Sorry. Look him up. Okay, he's the Begum of Bhopal. She always supported the British too because she had to. She was forced. So that's the thing about Muslims in Saudi. They're being forced to support the British, or else you don't support the British, we're going to kill your family. You better go and say this and say that and give money when we ask you to give money. You better. If you don't, it's game over. It's game over. Yeah. So Asif brings us up. Oh, look, they had a mosque fund. They had this. So this mosque fund, you know what it led to? So the mosque didn't get built. It ended up being redirected to the WO King, and I put that in my notes. I found that out later. And it eventually led to so that's the third mosque. Well, the first mosque actually. Maybe it's controversial. The East London Mosque was the one, and I'll get to that. King George. There's so many Muslims. He's like, hey, here's the land. You know, he asked for a church to be built in Egypt. So he said, okay, I'll let you build a mosque here, and let us build a church in Egypt. And Asif didn't mention that either. And I'll get to that. And I'll get to that. So all right. What else did I have here? Yep. And then look, that London Mosque Fund, it morphed into Khwaja Kamaluddin and the WO King, didn't it? You didn't say that, did you? You didn't mention all that, did you? These are important facts. You know, that's like Mirza Ghulam Ahmad said it was a secret. It was a hidden secret that Isa al-Islam died, na'uzubillah, and Mirza Ghulam Ahmad was told. These Ahmadis don't mention that. That kills all your Quran verses. All the verses you want to go to the Quran, you're done. Because MGA said it was a secret, so don't do that. Because you're going to get called out on it. All right? Yeah. So let's see what else. Yep, yep. It was the WO King Mosque Trust as the body that ended up holding those funds, etc. Look it all up. Look it all up. Let's see what some folks are saying. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So okay, all right, all right. Let's see what's my next pair of notes here. And were there photos I forgot to show? Let's see, let's see. Oh, because this guy's with him. This guy's with him. Ataul, Fatir, Tahir, another liar, another straight up. He's lying for the Mirza, just like Hurram. I'll tell you, Hurram Shah, straight up lying for the Mirza family till his death because he got a gas station and a tow truck company out of it. So he can never, and you know, Hurram's the kind of guy who will never admit he's wrong, ever, ever. He'll never do it. He'll never do it. His wife is like that too. A lot of people, you know, there's personality types that are like that who just can never say they made a mistake. They just cannot do it. Right? To me, it's strange. To me, it's strange. Oh, here's a photo of the London Mosque Fund. All right. Here's Khwaja Kamaluddin and Lord Headley. See the guy Headley on the left? Does that look like an Islamic beard on him? You see how you see how he just got the mustache? That's not an Islamic beard, bro. And that's not even sanitary. You know, if you have a big mustache, every time you eat food or it's all going to be on your face. Now you got to go wash your face every single time. It's not sanitary. And then you still didn't get everything out. So the reason Muslims trim the mustache and keep a beard is because that's what's sanitary. You know, because you need your mouth to eat. So if you got this big mustache, you know, and look, these guys are claiming to be Muslim, and just look at their face. So okay, so here's the WO King. You see soldiers there. Come on, man. This was the British government trying to appease some of the Islamic puppet governments that they had, trying to, you know, maybe get the Ottomans on their side, you know, and I'll get to that, and I'll get to that, you know, same thing, you know, Putin was kissing the Quran like a few months ago. There's like a video of him kissing the Quran. You think he cares about the Quran? You think he cares about Islam? No, he's doing it because he wants Muslims in Kazan or other places of the Russian Empire to be friendly. He's like, look, I'm on your side. Join the military. I need you guys to do this. We need to all pull as one force. I need you guys to make weapons. Whatever he needs them to do, that's all he's doing. That's literally all he's doing. So, all right. Then they bring up the trip of the second Qadiani Khalifa in 1924, right? However, they skip over Mufti Muhammad Sadik and how he got some chick pregnant and dipped. And then he tried to say, look, these guys tried to say, oh, he divorced her. He divorced her while she was pregnant. You can't even do that in Islam. In Islam, what? You gotta wait. You gotta wait. You can't even divorce them to like there's like a waiting period, right? Feel free to look that up. So that's what's really happening behind the scenes. Okay, is Mufti Muhammad Sadiq is having his way with these women. Okay, so by the time that the second Qadiani Khalifa shows up in 1924, this is the state of affairs, right? But they bring up, oh, he showed up in 1924. Yeah, he had a meeting with the Queen, a business meeting with the Queen. He became a Zionist. Okay, he hurt the Palestinian cause because he worked with the British and behind the scenes approved of all their policy, whatever they want to do. He's with it. He's on board. Okay, trust me on that one. All right. So okay, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Oh, and you know, some of the scholarship. Look, he talked about scholarship too. Asif, are you a scholar? I don't think so. The other guy, the Maulvi, ain't no Maulvi scholars, bro. The Maulvis are not any level of academic. I'm the only academic in this entire conversation, right? I'm the only one who has a doctorate. I'm the only one who reads writings, who's actually teaching, who's like a professor. Who are these guys? And I did it all on merit with the will of Allah, of course. It was all written, though. It was all written. I just had to execute. Okay, who are these guys? They all got help. They all got help, didn't they? Huh? Somebody had an uncle. So somebody gave them some money. Okay, they didn't earn nothing. They didn't earn nothing. So look, the property where they purchased a plot when a small temple could be built. Review of Religions, August, September, 1920. Is this the same property? I got the reference. Okay. Then they claim some other stuff also here. Here, let me pull it up. Well, what else did they claim? So Ahmadiyya sources allege that announcements were made to collect funds. The Ahmadiyya movement in Qadian raised 12,000. That's a lie. That's a lie. It's a straight up lie. They said the same thing about Germany. In the same era, they built a temple in Germany. I think the German government kicked them out or something like that. But it didn't work. It's all a lie. Oh, jewelry from the women, bro. In the USA, when a temple gets built, it's normally one Qadiani who gives the majority of the money. You know, in Texas, there was that oil baron who bought the whole temple and had it built and everything and gave him the keys and the paperwork. That's normally how it goes. 2 or 3 rich people. It's not the vast majority of the Jamaat. So, okay. Yeah. It's all lies, baby. It's all lies. On Melrose. Yeah. Come on. All these guys do is lie. You know, what do you think? What do you think? You know, so, okay. Then he says Muslims were recognizing that it's a mosque. He made this argument. Can you believe that this guy made this argument? And he quotes a newspaper, the Al-Musawwir. Like, bro, what? What are you talking about? Okay, this was an Egyptian newspaper. Okay, maybe they didn't know that these are Qadianis. These are Ahmadis. Maybe they don't know. King Faisal didn't know. King Faisal didn't know. I'm going to get to that too. I'm going to get to that here. Let me show the scan real quick. Where'd it go? Yeah, here it is. Okay. He didn't give a translation. He didn't say, hey, you guys go and check, double check me in case I made a mistake. No. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He also quoted the Palestine Bulletin. Okay. And talking about King Faisal. So now, even in Palestine, the British government is telling the world there's a mosque getting built. It's in all the newspapers. No, it's not a mosque. It's a temple. It's a fake. It's a fake. It's a straight up fake, right? The British want this religion to replace Islam. That's what they're trying to do, and it didn't work. It didn't work. So, all right. So what happens next? They also quote the Baghdad Times, and they're like, Muslims know. No, Muslims did not. This is not how you prove that Muslims knew. Like, it's unethical. He's saying, so just because it's in a newspaper, all Muslims know? Hold on. Was that newspaper in English? The Baghdad Times, was this it? Yep, this is it right here. Muslims don't read English? What Muslims is he even talking about? So the lies just continue. As you can tell, these guys will straight up lie. They don't. And I know people like this who just lie. Everything coming out of them is a lie. Lies and deception. They just cannot tell the truth, especially when they're defending their livelihood, right? So, all right. And then he quotes that. Oh, okay. So now we're talking about the grand opening of the temple. So who showed up in 1926? So in 1924, the second Qadiani Khalifa comes and lays the foundation stone. 2 years later, the temple opens. They allege that Quillam and Khalid Sheldrake were attending. That's strange. Now, I'll tell you, Khalid Sheldrake Effendi does have an article in the Review of Religions of 1912, but he was hanging out with the Lahoris, and he's some kind of political puppet of the British. I think he ended up being in charge of some country. I don't remember, but Alexander Webb, another political correspondent, he was like an ambassador to the Philippines. So they'll send these double agents oh yeah, he's gonna become a Muslim, and well, like, what kind of Muslim is he? You know, and if you look these guys up, Quill and Sheldrake, they're not scholars. They didn't write anything important. All the topics that I've gleaned, nothing deep. They don't go into Isa Islam. They don't go into the second coming. They don't talk about prophethood. I didn't find it. If anyone can find it, show me. I love to see it. Same thing with Alexander Webb. He ain't no scholar of Islam, bro. Come on, bro. Knock it off, bro. Go look at his writings. He didn't even, he didn't even write deeply about the big issues in Islam, nor did any of them write a commentary of the Quran. So how could these people be scholars? And then what about a commentary on Bukhari? Go through all the hadith. Tell us what they mean. What about abrogation? What about the Miraj? They didn't comment on any of this. So how are they scholars? These guys are not scholars. And on top of that, they didn't even attend. There's no records of these two guys attending. Or Headley. Okay? Or Pickthall. Right? None of these guys, I didn't find anything to prove or allege that these guys attended. I didn't find a thing. So what are these guys talking about? Why the excessive lying? Okay? So anyhow, King Faisal showed up. King Faisal showed up. Let's not forget. Okay. Okay. They also claimed that Quillam, Headley, Pickthall, it's all a lie. It's all a lie. They don't even mention Sadruddin. What about the Lahori Ahmadis? How come they didn't attend? They're 30 miles away in the WO King. How come they didn't attend? And then if you're a Muslim in the UK, there's only two pseudo mosques you can go to: the Fazl Temple or the WO King Mosque. There's no other place to go. Or you can go to someone's house for Eid, or you go to someone's house in the back and say your prayers. That's it. There's no other place, or maybe a park. Actually, I don't know. So okay. Then King Faisal comes up. Then it's King Faisal. All right. So they invited King Faisal. See that right there is a Qadiani on his left. I think that's Jalaluddin Shams. It looks like Jalaluddin Shams. And this looks like from the 1930s. So that's not even 1926. That's like the 1930s. This here. Oh, this is the one. And you can see Maulvi Darad. He wrote that Life of Ahmad. You see him right there. It looks like him. So King Faisal. And where's the one? Hold on. There's like another one. Oh, actually, I'm about to pull it up right now as I talk. So, okay. What happened with King Faisal? What's going on here? All right. Okay. So check this out. And let me put this up here as I go and get this photo. So Saudi Arabia is a colony of the British. It's still a puppet government of the West, is it not? It's a straight up puppet, right? So they're like, okay, we're gonna have his father, King Faisal. At the time, he wasn't king; he was like a prince. His father was supposed to come. That's how big. That's the type of what the British government was promoting. They wanted Ahmadiyya to even spread in Saudi. They want everyone to be an Ahmadi. So they probably paid for and asked for the king to come. He sends his son. His son shows up, finds out, oh, this is a fraud. Like, this is all some fraud. These guys aren't even Muslim. Worse than that, it is bad. It is really, really bad. So he shows up. They receive him at the port, station of port. And he says no. He finds out it's kufr. We don't know who told him. Obviously, he found out when he got to London. So, okay, look, I got the ref. I can't remember, but it's on the blog. Find it on the blog. He comes to town. He finds out it's pure kufr. He's like, I can't be a part of this. Okay? And then look, funny, 50 years later, 48 years later, He stopped them from doing Hajj. That's the guy, King Faisal. He stopped Ahmadis from doing Hajj. 1974 World Muslim League Conference in Mecca. And somehow he's involved. He says, no, these guys are not coming. This is what, then there was the Rubwa train incident, right? And then Ahmadis were declared non-Muslim, whatever. But they can't come for Hajj from Pakistan to this day because of King Faisal. And then Mirza Tahir Ahmad says in the 90s, his death, because remember, his brother killed him. He was also down with OPEC. So he was going against NATO in the West. So they killed him. They had his brother kill him, or like a cousin or a nephew, and say, oh, yeah, we're done with this guy. He's doing what Iran did. Iran switched sides. So did Afghanistan. So that's the global political geopolitical scenarios that we're in, is Russia and its puppet governments versus America, the UK, France, and their puppet governments. That's the whole thing. So since he's a puppet of the West, he goes against them, and they kill him. So Mirza Tahir Ahmad said it was because of what he did against Ahmadiyya. Okay, all right. So okay, where was I? Okay, so King Faisal, and then check out my essays on him. Here, let me put it in the chat. Look, I've written detailed essays about all these scenarios. Here, I'm gonna put one in the chat. Okay, it's that one, and then Ahmadis celebrate his death. Okay, there that one is. All right, we've covered these guys. We're all over their head, and I'm up to 27 minutes, so I gotta hurry. So okay, yeah, that photo, he was received by AR Dutta at the so he met him, and then he said no. Remember that, he met them, and then he said no, and then he left. He was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this. This is not a real Muslim mosque. Not gonna happen. And then the newspapers covered it. Check this out. Look. It's in the Sectarian rivalry. The mystery of Prince Faisal's absence. Dutta, he talks about it. He was like, no, this is not a mosque. This is not a mosque. This is a temple. This is fraudulent. Totally fraudulent. All right. Then look. He this is like in French. I can't even read it, but Asif Basit, he quotes this. The Saudi family was talking about it. The Saudis want nothing to do with the Qadianis. Qadianis believe that Jesus ﷺ died in India, in Kashmir. That's it. We don't need to hear anything else. That is ridiculousness. All right. So what's next? Because he came back in 1939. So then he starts saying, he came back and visited in 1939, and he visited our temple. Well, because he was forced to. Now, no. This was the Palestine conference. Okay, this is huge because the war is about to start. World War II is about to start. Palestinian Muslims are already rioting. The Germans want the Palestinian Muslims on their side. Again, same thing that we have going on today. The Russians want Muslims to fight for them, and they send Muslims in Gaza to go do stuff. And then on the other side, it's the opposite. So Muslims are caught in the middle of this global situation. So, okay, they're like, no, he came and visited again. That means he says it was a mosque. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. He came there, and look, you see Jalaluddin Shams right there. Okay, so he has to do that. If he doesn't, they'll kill you. The CIA, have you heard about Grenada? Noriega, what about Iran-Contra? You ever heard of that one? So, okay, all right, that's the king, King Faisal. He was there for the Palestine conference. Let's see what else. Okay, Jinnah. Let's talk about Jinnah. All right. So look. Move this comment. So what about Jinnah? So Basit, he says, Jinnah was going there too. Jinnah's an Agahani Shia. He's a deviant. He don't care, he's fraudulent. He's a puppet. You know, and like Pakistanis don't really understand. They're like, oh no, it's the founder of our country. They lied to you. They lied to you guys about a lot of people. You know, I remember telling them about Sir Sayyid and they were shocked. They didn't know the extent of what he wrote and what he represented until I showed them. Okay, look, Jinnah, what does he say? Amni's a Muslim? See, he's fraudulent. He's totally fraudulent, right? And look at the quote. I think this was in Kashmir, May 5th, 1944. He's fraudulent. So, but they're like, no, in 1931 he showed up. Well, he didn't oppose Ahmadiyya until 1935. So by 1931, yes, Allama Iqbal. Okay, so now we're talking about Iqbal. Iqbal held all the same beliefs as Sir Sayyid from the beginning until 1935. He lived 3 years after that. Did he change his beliefs? There's no record of it. Did he say the Shahada again in the last 3 years of his life? There's no record of it. Who read his Janazah? I don't know. I haven't found out. These questions need to be answered. Yeah, he turned on Ahmadiyya, but he was the same thing. Got the mustache and no beard. Okay? He's an oligarch guy. These are all oligarch guys. All right? So if Iqbal showed up in 1931, where else was he going to go? You know? He probably prayed behind them too and everything. Okay? All right. So let's keep moving here. He mentions like the Muslim world. I just showed that. Jinnah. So look, they admit that the reason Jinnah goes back to British India is because Andy's told him to. Well, then you're proving that Jinnah's on your side. That's why he made Zafar Lahan the foreign minister. Now it makes sense? He's on their side. So Jinnah is a puppet. Iqbal is a puppet. All these guys. Oh, look, I'm a big Tupac fan, or I used to be, right? He's not a Muslim. I don't hold him on that level. He was an artist. Enjoy his art, and that's it. You know, you don't have to agree with his political ideology or his religion or whatever. Somebody could be a good poet. You don't have to agree with everything that they say and they do, you know? So, okay. So Jinnah's on their side. Jinnah's with them. So is Zafar Lahan. So was Iqbal. All of a sudden he turned, right? And many sources have talked about this. Then Iqbal, okay, then he talks about the interwar period. But the French, even the French opened like a mosque in Paris. What's that mosque in Paris? The Grand Mosque of Paris. Why did the French build that? And answer that question. Why did the French build that? They were trying to make friends with the Ottomans. See, this building the mosque thing, it's political. These are political maneuvers. Okay? Oh, we built the mosque. That's only because you wanted to make friends with the Ottomans or something like that. Something's up. Okay? Because we know the French dislike Islam like you wouldn't believe, right? So, all right. Okay. Then he talks about the Civil and Military Gazette, World War II. He says Amni's made a huge impact. Oh, I'm gonna get to that. Look, in 1984, barely 8 people would show up to Jummah at the Fazl Temple. There were barely 500 Qadianis in all of the UK. I'd say 500 to 1,000 in 1984. So what's the accomplishment? What'd you guys do? You didn't even get any popular converts. Headley, Lord Headley's not with you. Sheldrake is not with you. Quillam is not with you. Pickthall is not with you. Yusuf Ali even hangs out with the Lahori Ahmadis. So who are your converts? You know, because you got some fake converts, huh? I got photos. It's all on the blog. Just look it up. I have an essay on fake white converts from the UK. They were pretending. Oh, we're converted. You didn't convert anyone. What are you talking about? By 1984, you had, until the asylum hit, you're not doing anything. Period. So, let's see what else. So Ahmadis were allowed to open mosques. No one else. And then he brings up the Salafis. He says, oh, because the Salafis were also against jihad. Okay? That's why. All right. Let's see what else. Oh, again, Khwaja Kamaluddin and Lord Headley. Loyal Enemies. I need to read this book. I need to read. These about the early converts. All right. See what else. What else we got in here? So this is Prince King George, the one who allowed Muslims to build a mosque, but it wasn't for free. He said, "Let me build a church in Egypt." So okay, let's see. An Anglican cathedral. So it was like a trade, but he doesn't tell that. He does not tell that. It's on the blog. Check it out. And it was during World War II. He's looking for allies. He's looking for allies. All right. And now it's fully built. So okay. Let me see what else. Oh, and I got the reference if anyone needs it. Ahmadiyya dead 1984. Just look up Ataul Majid Rashid and his comments. I found these in his comments in Canada. He said he was the imam. Barely anyone showed up. You want the verbiage? Here's the verbiage. Only 8. Okay, so look. He said this. This is a verbatim quote. Verbatim quote. He said in 1984, just before Mirza Tahir Ahmad arrived from Pakistan, allegedly escaping execution, he said Friday sermons in late April, 8 people were in attendance. This is their impact. This is what they did. And how many temples, how many Qadiani temples and mission houses were there in the UK by 1984? It was like 2. You know the one, and there's like some other mission houses going on. That's it. That's all they got going on. It's on the blog. It's on the blog. Go check it out. So what is he talking about? What impact did these guys? These guys had the funding. They had a headquarters. They got missionaries. They're being sent to Nigeria. They have a network. They got all the Ahmadiyya movement. The British government is helping them immensely. And what happened to the WO King? The Lahori Ahmadis lost it in 1960. What happened at the Fazl Temple? No converts. Even today, there ain't no converts. So what did you guys do? No one wants to join your cult because you're saying that Jesus died in India, al-Islam. It's game over. We don't need to see the Quran. We don't need to go to the Hadith. We don't even need to go there. Just make this one statement, and it's game over. So coming up on like 37 minutes. Let me see what else. And then he talks about Hyde Park. Oh, this one was funny. This one, okay, so here's now the mosque that was built, was traded out. I think it was just like this part, and now it's bigger. So, okay. Then he talks about Nayer in 1924. So in 1923, this guy was sent to West Africa. He went and stole a mosque from the local Muslims in West Africa. He was sent from Qadian. But then he almost died. I don't know, maybe it's diabetes, malaria. It could be anything. So he goes to London in 1923. And I haven't read the book yet. I ordered the book. But he was being ridiculed, mocked, and then all of a sudden he's on the ground. And then that's where the quotations end. Amdi's reviewed all this. That's where the quotations end. He's on the ground. We don't know how or what. Did he get beat up? Did he get drugged on the ground? Was he exhausted? Because they didn't show all the quotes. They have a habit of not showing everything, only what benefits them. So I was able to see their article, but I was not able to see that. Okay, and then and ladies and gentlemen, that is the. Let me just double check if I have anything else. So what about the rest of the Qadianis? Nayer went to Hyde Park. What about Darad? What about Shams? What about B.A. Rafiq? What about the Lahoris? What about Sadruddin? What about the white guys? Headley. Did they ever go to Hyde Park? We don't know. We absolutely do not know. What about Farzand Ali? He was also a Maulvi. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and that was in about 39 minutes. All right, and we got some folks in here. Let's see what they got to say. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the stream, brother Rauf. What do you got to say, brother? Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. What do you think about in the UK, the only two centers that were pseudo Islam were the Lahori Ahmadis and the Qadiani Ahmadis up until the 1960s.
I didn't really know that.
They're the
It's my
representatives.
first time hearing about it.
They
And
are in charge. Yeah.
yeah, and then the King Faisal part, that was interesting too. He saw what was happening. He was like, "Wait a minute, that's not no mosque."
Or we don't know. He was received by the Qadianis at the port. And that's where that photo comes from.
Mhm.
Some kind of port. Somehow he must have spoke to them. They must have said Jesus Islam died in India, and he was like, "What?" You know what I mean? That's a all Muslim has to do is hear that. It's game over, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
It's like, what? You said what? So no, check this out. King Faisal, oh, at the time he was a prince. In 1974, he bans them from coming and doing Hajj.
Yep.
And that ban is still in place. Only from Pakistan, though. Only from Pakistan. Not from, so Huram, I think Huram went. You know what I mean? He trespassed. He didn't go. He trespassed Mecca.
Oh wow.
Right?
Yeah, they hide and disguise themselves when they go to Mecca because no one's gonna tolerate their BS in Mecca or Medina or in Saudi general.
And there are Ahmadis in Saudi, even in Mecca. I knew a guy who lived in Mecca. He was a worker, and for a long time, actually, it's on the blog in like my history of Saudi Arabia. But they were claiming to be in Saudi, since the 20s and the 30s. So this was
Probably secretly.
Oh, totally, totally, totally. But at the time, it wasn't illegal for them to be there. Now ever since '74, it's illegal for them to even be there on a work visa. They're just not allowed in the country. But you don't have to tell you're a Qadiani Amdi from Pakistan unless if it's on your passport or on your ID card. So
Yeah, they're so proud of this being, oh, we're the true Islam and all that and online, but then when it comes to actually telling the government and stuff in Saudi, they're all quiet and like little chuhas, the
right,
Masila
right.
chuhas.
And what do you think about Jinnah saying being at their temple, being convinced, allegedly convinced, go back to British India and get into politics. And then he goes, they make him the puppet dictator. He says Ahmadis are Muslim, and no one should say they're not Muslim. He himself is an Agahani.
Oh wow. I probably missed that part because I joined towards the end. I'd gone to my class like I told you, and then on the way back, I was uh trying to get into talks with Razi on his stream because he was doing a whole lot of baloney with another Muslim. But then when I got back home, maybe I came like 20 minutes before.
Yeah, so Pakistan's allegedly an Islamic government. The prime minister is an Agahani Shia. The defense minister is a Qadiani.
Wow.
What kind of country is this? It's a Muslim country. We should establish it upon the Sharia. What Sharia? Well, everyone's Hanafi.
Yeah.
Everyone's already Hanafi. Even the Deobandi school and the Barelvi school are Hanafi. They're still Hanafi. The Mughal Empire was Hanafi. So you establish an Islamic government, establish it on the Hanafi fiqh. Instead, Agahani is in charge. Agahani Shia is in charge, and his right hand man is a Qadiani. That's the country that they gave us, bro.
Wow.
Come on,
Seems
man.
like someone's pulling strings somewhere.
And look, apparently these guys don't read the Hadith either because they shave their face,
Yeah, yeah,
or they got the big mustache. Like,
yeah.
bro, do
They
you
still do
recognize
that
the
in
Hadith?
Turkey. I think they still do that in Turkey. They
Yeah,
have
yeah,
big
yeah,
mustaches and no beards. All
yeah.
government employees.
All government employees, man. That's the look, bro. That's the look. And look at Lord Headley. Same thing. So he was a convert to Islam. But look, can we call him a convert to Islam? He converted via the Lahori Ahmadis. So that's
No,
not really Shahada. That's not.
no. Yeah,
If you say the Shahada with an atheist, doesn't count.
no, it doesn't.
It's like, you know, even if you try to pray after that, it's like yoga. It's not, you're not, it's not. I mean, I don't really know what these guys are doing.
Yeah, because there's no one to witness, right?
So look, here it's them uh, admitting that the reason Jinnah got into politics was because of the Ahmadis in London, and they told him to go do it.
Oh wow.
So okay, let's talk to brother Raheel, and then we got to end it because I'm coming up on 45 minutes. Assalamu alaikum, brother Raheel. How's it going, brother? I think I've seen him on Twitter. So okay, seems like there's some issue there, brother Raheel. Anything else before we close it out?
Um, Nothing else related to the topic of discussion today.
Sounds good, brother. Well. Hey, I try to keep these short, informational. I also talked about Allama Iqbal. Look him up. He's another Sir Sayyid guy. He held all the beliefs of Sir Sayyid up until 1935 when he turned on the Qadianis. He died 3 years later. So I've been asking who's got info on his last 3 years of his life. We need to see. Did he change his beliefs? Because if you believe that Isa al-Islam died, you're out. It's done. You're not, you left, bro. So that has to be corrected. Because that, when people start to believe that Isa al-Islam died, that's the first step out the door. Because that leads to denying angels, denying miracles, denying the mirage. You're going down that road. And that's what Sir Sayyid did and the Aligarh College did. And this Allama Iqbal, he was part of them, and then he jumped on to Mirza Ghulam Ahmad for a little bit, and then he sort of went Lahori for a little bit, and then he went rogue for. It's like, dude, why are you hanging with the Lahori Ahmadis? I couldn't hang with them. You know what I mean? I met this one guy on the internet. He hates me now because I'm like, I asked him, Lahori Ahmadis believe that Isa al-Islam had a biological father.
Yeah, I know about that.
So look, I can't hang with them. I can't pray with them.
No, definitely can't.
So I mean, that's the biggest disrespect. That's super disrespect. Yeah. You're denying verses of the Quran. You're denying this huge miracle. That's it. You're done. You're similarly done. And they believe Mirza Ghulam Ahmad to be an honest man. You believe Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is an honest man? Nah. Nah, it ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't gonna work. So hey, with that being said, brother, I'm gonna just close it, and then we have another stream starting in a few minutes, and a bunch of other streams going. So with that being said, assalamu alaikum and peace out.
Wa alaikum assalam.